Well, good morning, folks, and you're very welcome to another edition of the Ray Darcy Show. Hey! And this morning, folks, we have a real treat for you. We've none other than Keith Barry, the great hypnotist, and illusionist, and brain hacker, and all those weird and wonderful things. He's live in here in the studio. Keith Barry, good morning to you.
Morning, Ray. Fantastic to be here again.
So, Keith, you're going to perform live here and there some of the brain hacking or hypnosis that you perform on unsuspecting guests.
Yeah, that's right, Ray. We're going to perform some live brain hacking. And these guys won't have a clue.
Right, first off, delighted to welcome into the studio probably one of the greatest rugby players, not only in Ireland's history, but in the history of the whole world, Mr. Brian O'Driscoll. You're very welcome to the show.
Hi, Ray. Hi, Keith.
Brian, some of the listeners want to know some of the best highlights of your entire career.
Yeah, I've been privileged to have played on so many, great teams, and
Okay, Brian, and sleep. Brian, when you wake up, you're going to imagine you're not from leafy Dublin suburbia, but you're actually from a Hasker or Castle Blakeney or something like that in East Galway, and your accent is going to change permanently. So, on my count of three, Brian, eyes open, wide awake, 1, 2, 3, and wide awake.
And so, Brian, listener into the show says, can you ever ask Brian what probably was the greatest highlight of his entire career? That comes in from Pat in Headford.
Oh, Jesus Christ, it was mighty times altogether. Christ above, we were out there in Australia that time, and I mean, it was unreal out there, like, no one would believe it, like, some of the stories that come out with, like, there was lads there from England, Wales and Scotland all over, like, and...
Okay, Brian, and sleep. On my count of three, 1, 2, 3, eyes open, wide awake, you're back to your old self.
That felt a bit weird.
Now, folks, Deputy Luke Ming Flanagan, morning to you.
How are you, Ray? How are you, Keith? Now, before you say anything, what you just did to Brian O'Driscoll is an absolute disgrace. And while I'm at it, I think this government is just treating the people in my own constituency absolutely disgracefully. There's one thing after the other.
Okay, Luke Ming, and sleep. When you wake up, you're going to imagine that Enda Kenny's probably the greatest leader in history. You're going to think water chargers are fantastic. And the turf cutting ban, bring it on. So, on my count of three, 1, 2, 3, eyes open, wide awake.
How are you, lads? Well, look, at what I want to say is that I think Enda Kenny is absolutely fantastic. I mean, some of the things he's introduced are just brilliant. I mean, water charges. I mean, for feck's sake, €200 a house. Sure, wouldn't it be still cheap at twice the price, as they say? And sure, as for the turf cutting ban, back at the net, I say, who wants to go to the feckin' bog anyhow?
Feckin' brilliant. Now, finally, folks, as if that wasn't enough. Minister for Health, Leo Varadkar, good morning to you. How are things in the Department of Health?
Good morning, Ray. Good morning, Keith. Well, unfortunately, things are very bad at the moment. The waiting lists are starting to get out of control. Patients on trolleys are becoming a disaster, and we're losing grip.
Okay, Leo, and sleep. Leo, when you wake up, you're going to believe that everything in the health service is fantastic. Waiting lists? What waiting lists? Patients on trolleys? No such thing. Figment of your imagination. And if anybody blames you or the government, you're just going to blame the previous Fianna Fáil government. So, on my count of 1, 2, 3, wide awake, Leo.
Good morning, Ray. Good morning, Keith. Well, I'm delighted to say that this government have made huge improvements to our health service. We are now back to a pre-2004 levels of waiting lists. We have reduced almost 85% of the backlog of patients on hospital trolleys, where we effectively took over a broken system from the previous Fianna Fáil government.
Thank you, brilliant. Keith Barry, you're a genius.
No, Ray, not genius, just brain hacking.